I don't have a polished message for you today. I'm not hyped up, not fired up to make this video, but I'm making it because I know that there's somebody that's out there that feels the same exact way that I do right now. The feeling of constantly showing up, doing the right things, but nothing seems to be going your way. And you're tired. You're frustrated with yourself because you know that you're doing all of the right things, but the time that you have to wait for your moment to come is extremely exhausting. You're not lazy. You're somebody that probably overworks yourself, but things just don't seem like they're going your way, and you don't ever really know when they're going to go your way. You have the feeling of wanting to quit every single day. Quitting meaning going and doing something else that would be a lot easier than what it is that you're pursuing right now. The challenges of being able to grow and become this new person requires a lot of focus, a lot of discipline, a lot of patience. And you may know how to have the optimistic mindset, how to continue to have the mindset that this is going to work. This is going to be the thing that's going to free me. But you're still human. You still have the emotion of doubt, the emotion of fear, the emotion of being scared of what's to come or fearing what's after or what's next. Always feeling like you have to be in that rut of trying to focus on what next to do. There's a frustration that nobody really talks about. And I think that that is the weight of waiting, meaning the weight that's on your shoulders when you are doing the work, but the results just haven't caught up yet. When you're constantly showing up and doing the things that are necessary to move you forward, but you feel like the results haven't caught up yet. I know that I see the people online, whether they're a coach, consultant, mentor, influencer, whatever you want to call them. Everybody shows the good, but not a lot of people are talking about what it's like to have to go through the mental battle on a day-to-day basis behind closed doors. The thoughts that go on in your mind when you're present, your body is present, but your mind is always in a different place. Your mind's always focusing on what the payout, what the result actually looks like, because that's what keeps you motivated. That's what keeps you going. That's what makes it worthwhile, knowing that the light at the end of the tunnel I can see, and it's a lot closer for me to be able to continue. It's a lot easier for me to be able to continue going forward than to turn back around and walk into the darkness of a place that I wanted to get away from. Everybody shows the glitz and the glamour. Nobody talks about the frustration that happens on a day-to-day basis while you're waiting for your results to come up. You do everything right, but still nothing seems to go your way. And you are waiting for your confirmation. You're waiting for your breakthrough. You're waiting for that time to come when you can finally sit back and breathe and be happy for what it is that you've built. Some days are better than others. Most days are tough. Not because the work is hard or because life is hard, because we have a lot to be appreciative of. I know for me specifically, I'm blessed. I'm grateful. I feel like, your perception is what allows for you to be able to see the good in situations that may seem bad or may feel bad. And your way of viewing life is based on what you see as good or what you see as bad. So you can be the most optimistic person in the world like me, but at the end of the day, we're still human. We still have the feelings and the emotions of doubt, emotions of fear, the emotion of wanting to quit and turn around and go and do something else that seems like it would be a lot easier. But while that's on one shoulder, on the other shoulder, you feel like it's in your will to continue to stand up and be strong, to make sure that this current situation isn't going to allow for me to go back and start over and do things in a different way because it didn't feel like this was the right thing to do in the moment. I think the silence makes us question ourselves, not because we are weak, but because we actually care about whether we're doing the things right, whether we should be doing something different. And it's like, although you may have a strong relationship with God and a strong relationship with yourself, when you're pursuing something that you can't necessarily speak about or talk to other people about because nobody else really understands, it's very, very hard to be able to receive the answers or to know what to continue to do or what to, change. I know for me specifically, being a full-time entrepreneur, there's nobody really telling me what to do or what not to do. Everything comes from my ability to see the situation for what it is and being able to figure out how to get to the finish point or get to the finish line. Knowing that if I go and I start it or put myself on another path, then I would be neglecting what my true purpose really is. And it's tough because once you put yourself out there and you have people that are dependent on you, whether you know those people or not, most of the people that are going to watch this video, I have no idea where you are currently in your life, but I made this video because I had to show up for myself, and I'm showing up for you because I feel like this message will be able to help you be able to see or have the mindset that, yes, it's easy to say that we have to keep going, but we have to keep going because the person that we can see in our vision, the person that we're going to become in the future, the moments that are the toughest, once we get to the finish line and we're able to look back and reflect, those are going to be the moments that we're the most proud of ourselves. Because everything is mental. And if obviously it's easy, it's way easier said than done. But being able to have the mental capacity to continue to show up for yourself, for other people, when all you want to do is go and be isolated and pretty much put yourself in a room and shut all the lights off and just sit and be in quiet and not be out in the world. You have to have a different type of courage, different type of bravery, different type of focus to continue to show up and try to fulfill a purpose, even when you don't feel like doing it. Even when everything else is saying that, hey man, it's just easier for you to quit. But who would you be if you were to stop now? That's a question that I'm not sure the answer to, but I know that quitting isn't really in the cards. It's very tough because we try to stay focused, but distractions are what feels like our relief. But the distractions only keep us from where it is that we are trying to get to, because relief isn't growth. When we relieve ourselves from being distracted on what our purpose is, that's when we stop growing. Deep down, we know this, which is why we continue to show up and we try to remain headstrong or perfect or whatever you want to call it. But we know that if we stop moving forward, then we just delay who it is that we're becoming. I think that this is where our faith gets tested. How strong do you really believe in what it is that you're building? If it was easy to have belief when everything was peaches and cream, everybody would be doing it. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it. But because it's hard, because it's challenging, because it's frustrating, because you want to quit, because it's things that you feel like could just be a lot easier than whatever path you're on right now, that's the very thing that's building the character for who it is that you're becoming. So no matter how easy it sounds, no matter how hard it actually is, you got to continue to show up and do things today that your future self are going to thank you for. That future person that you are visualizing, that you are dreaming about, that you constantly see. That person is dependent on you right now. And that person is yourself. It's not anybody else. You got to pursue what it is that you want for yourself. and allow for time to reveal the things that are sent to prepare you and not destroy you. Faith is tested right now because God puts you through the fire before he gives you the breakthrough. We all have the favor of being able to have the things that we ask for. The moment they say you ask, you shall receive. I believe that's true. But God doesn't give you what it is that you ask for in the form of it being done. He gives it to you in the preparation of work. He gives it to you to test how long or how strong your faith is going to be in him. Who are you going to depend on when you're talking and you're constantly praying and you're reflecting, you're speaking life into yourself, but there's nobody else there's no voice that's coming back to you and telling you that this is the right thing to do. The people that are not mentally strong or don't have any faith, they revert to doing the easy thing that feels like relief, but they keep themselves in a position for such a long time because they never really believed that they could have it in the first place. If you're anything like me, you pray. You pray for protection, pray for guidance, you pray for blessings. You pray that one day everything is just going to eventually make sense. But the silence that comes with that when nothing changes, you wonder if you're being ignored by God. You wonder if he can hear you. Well, this is future me telling current me that God does hear us. He does see us. And he's asking for us to continue to lean on him for strength. One of my favorite Bible verses is Proverbs 3, chapter 5, verse 6. It says, trust in the Lord in all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, submit to him and he will make your path straight. This is something that I've been trying to live by for the last 15 years of my life. Constantly trying to depend on God and continue to trust in God. And it's not that I ever lose faith in God, but oftentimes I do question whether or not I'm doing everything right or if it's something else that I should be doing. On one side of the fence, it's like God's making this hard for me. He's challenging me. He's making it tough for me because it may not seem like this isn't the thing that I should be doing. But on the other side, I know that the way God works, because when we ask for favor, he gives it to us in the form of work. And faith without work is dead. And I can't get frustrated with the work. Although I'm still human and I will feel those moments of frustration and wanting to be relieved of the pressure that I've put on myself, it's still important to continue to remain strong and keep the faith in God, knowing that he is not going to send anything to destruct you. He's not the author of confusion. Clarity is on the other side of growth. Freedom is on the other side of being able to push through even when times are telling you to quit. But silence isn't absence. God being silent with us isn't saying that he's not listening to us. The teacher is always quiet during the test. But one thing that I've learned about God and something that I'm extremely grateful for is he's always here with us and he hears everything that it is that we ask for. And because we ask for certain things, we're required to become new type of people. So in those moments of silence where we want to give up, those are really the biggest moments of preparation that are going to determine whether or not you can continue to move forward or you're going to set yourself back. If quitting was the right move, then it would feel peaceful, but it doesn't because it's not peaceful and it's not the right move. We know that deep down inside, quitting is like letting ourselves down, which is why we don't do it. It's why we continue to show up, why we continue to go through the motions, even when we don't feel like we should be going through the motions. Those are the moments that you are being built to become the strongest version of yourself. So I don't really have any cool message to leave you guys with today. I'm really making this video because I needed to hear it for myself, and I needed to be able to have something in place to be able to just release the frustration of feeling like my time's never coming, and use this as fuel to continue to go, and motivation that the only thing that I have to have, the only thing that we have to keep is certainty that it's going to work out. Certainty that everything that we're going through and we're feeling right now is the very thing that's trying to just take us away from what our overall purpose is. So in the moments where we feel the doubt, the moments where we feel the fear, the moments where we are in neglect or we feel like we're in a place of lack, you got to remain certain that you have everything that you need, and the things that you don't need, you don't have. The things that you want are going to be given to you, but in the time that God feels like you're ready for it. The person that you're becoming requires you to continue to grow. The character that's being built right now in the fire is what's going to make you strong enough to be able to stand in any type of situation that comes in the near future. Every day is about being able to get stronger. Day by day for us to be able to see a better day. But we just got to continue to remain headstrong and certain that the time is coming, and the time is closer than we feel like it is, because we're closer to where we want to be than we were in the past. So you just need to stay the course. You're not too late. Things are not going against you. You're not in a position where God is just ignoring you and he doesn't want you to be successful, or he doesn't want you to win. The frustration that you feel is a part of the reason why you are becoming the person that you desire to be, because it's building you up for you to be able to not only get what you want, but also be able to sustain the things that you want. So in conclusion for today's video, as easy as it sounds, we got to keep going. You got to stay focused. You got to continue to show up for yourself, even when it's hard to, and realize that the teacher is always with us. We can depend on him and trust in him in any type of moments, and he's going to always make sure that we have the things that we need in the times that we need them. So relieve the pressure of yourself. It's okay for you to not feel like yourself 100% of the time, but don't allow for the feeling of today to turn into weeks or months of you just sitting on your potential because things were frustrating at one particular time. You got to show up and get out your funk. It's going to be okay to have some bad days, but we're going to make sure that majority of our days are going to be good days, because we choose good. We choose happiness. We choose gratitude. We choose to look at the good in every situation. We choose to be the glass half full type of people, instead of looking at the bad, or looking at what could go wrong, or looking at all of the things that aren't necessarily fitting to what we feel like should be. But we don't know how long our book is. Each day we know that we have the opportunity to turn a new page. That's what the overall focus is. And the author of the book, God, when you align yourself with his purpose, you align yourself with what it is that he desires from you. As long as you continue to turn each page, your story will always get better. That's going to conclude this video. I'll see you guys in the next one.